Well, your child or loved one could be suffering from an eating disorder and you may not be aware of it. In tonight's Mind Matters, KSLA News 12's Angelia Allen shares some signs and symptoms and resources available to find help and get back to a healthier way of living.
Dr. Jennifer Steinberg explains what are some common eating disorders.
The two main ones that people would think about would be anorexia nervosa and bulimia. Anorexia is characterized by weight loss, undereating, restrictive eating behaviors that can occur with overexercise. There can also be a binge eating and purging aspect to that as well, but the primary behavior is restrictive eating patterns and a fear of weight gain. That's also part of the anorexia diagnosis. Bulimia is different in that patients will engage in binge eating or out of control eating behaviors, but then there's a compensatory purging behavior that goes along with that, and that could be intentional vomiting or it could be laxative use, diet pills, overexercise, or fasting that occurs with that. But actually the most common eating disorder, which people may not think about as much, is binge eating disorder, and that's binge eating, but it doesn't have the purging behavior component with it.
Dr. Steinberg says when it comes to anorexia, women outnumber men 3 to 1. But when it comes to binge eating and bulimia, the numbers are relatively the same. She says there is also a new eating disorder to look out for.
It's a relatively new eating disorder diagnosis called ARFID, or Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder, and I think a lot of people have never heard of that or are not aware of it. But ARFID is a condition where patients will restrict food intake for reasons that have nothing to do with body shape or fear of gaining weight. They'll restrict for typically more reasons like anxiety reasons, so they may be fearful of a food allergy issue or a texture issue, or they've maybe had a choking episode. So ARFID is very treatable with therapy and with medical interventions, but a lot of people aren't really aware of it, so they may not seek help for it.
She says it's important to recognize the signs and symptoms of these obsessive behaviors and be aware that there are genetic and environmental components to eating disorders.
Yeah, so signs and symptoms would be weight loss, unusual weight loss. Most eating disorder patients are actually not underweight, but there should be, especially in anorexia, one of the signs is a significant weight loss relative to that person. Other signs would be evidence of vomiting, so you may see signs in the bathroom that that's been occurring, or hidden food or food wrappers, evidence that maybe someone's been eating in the middle of the night and trying to hide that behavior, over exercise or becoming obsessive about exercise in general. And as far as examples, I would say a lot of my patients have come to me because they may start out innocently enough just trying to make some good lifestyle changes, some healthier habits, maybe exercising more, eating better. But for some patients, for whatever reason, that behavior can spiral out of control and really become an obsessive behavior.
Dr. Steinberg says good household eating habits are key.
Good eating habits are caught probably more than they're taught, so it's important for parents to tell children about good nutritional habits, but it's also, I think, more important even than that to model them. So eating a balanced diet, making sure you're getting plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, making sure that you're getting plenty from all the food groups, I think that's really important to teach children, and also not to overemphasize perfect eating or an ideal body weight. I think those are all good things we can teach our kids.
She feels the new culture has sparked acceptance and awareness of different body types, along with understanding and support when it comes to dealing with eating disorders.
My favorite online resource to direct families to is the National Eating Disorder Association website. They have lots of information on there, lots of sites that are helpful for families. And I think sometimes it just helps to encourage families to kind of have an intervention with their loved one and get them in to seek care for them. But it also gives them the confidence to realize that there really is a problem that they're seeing and they need to seek help for their loved one.
And as always, remember, your mind matters. Angelia Allen, KSLA News 12.
And you can check out the Mind Matters tab on our app. We post daily tips, the latest news, and other resources to help you care for your mental health. We're back in a minute.